All right. Hi, friends. It says we are live, but I think it took it a moment, a few seconds at least, on our last video. So we're still working out the timing. So let's see if we are actually live. There we are. Okay, great. So, hi and hello again. It's Monday night here in Southwest Louisiana, and so we are back again with YC Live, and we are very appreciative of all of you being here, supporting us, and as we go on this new adventure in live streaming. So, Kevin, would you like to say anything before we jump into today's topic?
If you're here, thanks for joining. If you're about to join or you're going to see us in the future, it's hello. I hope you're having a good day. If not, hang in there. Let's see what we can talk about today.
Okay, great. Well, based on the topic today, we're covering stagnant revenue and being stuck. Feel like you're making sales, but you can't seem to get ahead. It seems to be last time we spoke about expenses and how they can sneak up on you and eat away at your profits. And so, especially if you are stagnant in your revenue and then your expenses are climbing with inflation and everything else that's going on in the world, and your expenses continue to climb, but your revenue's not climbing, that's a problem. And so, what can we do to maybe solve that problem is the question today. So, does your business feel like it's on a treadmill? I actually hate the treadmill. I don't know how you feel about it. Even the ones that have the little cameras, or the videos,
A little
you can
more
watch
entertaining.
TV a little bit, but it does feel like you're busy, but you're not actually moving forward in terms of revenue
I like the
or
bikes.
exercise. It
Stair,
feels a little bit
stair
better.
stepper's rough
Oh my
too.
goodness, it can only
Anyways,
last a couple of minutes. Well, stagnant growth is incredibly frustrating, especially when you're pouring your heart into your business. And so today we're uncovering some common reasons revenue gets stuck and how to unlock genuine growth. So, if you would in the chat, if you're listening, what's one thing you've tried to do to boost revenue that just didn't work? Let's be honest, a lot of businesses is trial and error. So, if you have something, you let us know. So it's easy to get busy in the business, but we need to work on its growth. So here are three areas that you can examine. That's been our MO as we cover three different tips. And so the first one is to reevaluate your offer and ideal client. So so what we can do there is take a look at what whether your products and services are still solving the problem that you set out to solve. Times change, people change, your situation changes, and so it's important to reevaluate. You're not growing in sales, so to reevaluate whether you're still reaching your clients, whether you're still solving a problem. I'm trying to think of an example of a problem. Kevin, can you think of an example of a problem that a company has solved that it's since gone out of business or become obsolete? Um,
but yeah.
like what?
Well, there's the if I didn't actually.
I put you on the
Yeah,
spot,
you
didn't
did put me on the spot.
I?
Well, it was the market share and the um, right before. So when Apple actually ended up started thriving, they took oh shoot. Well, they went
There was a competitor
one.
who's no
We
longer around. Is that what
yeah,
it is?
I
Okay.
forget which one
Well,
it was.
they have gotten
So
forgotten, huh?
yeah, they could have went into the mobile space and all
Oh,
that, but
sure. Yes.
golly, what? Okay. Anyways, there's a
Now, is
lot.
it
I mean, there's.
yes, is it IBM one that fell behind
I
on
think
like
that's who it
the
was.
on
I
the
think
the
that's who
on
it
the
was.
mobility and things like
Yeah, there's
that?
a
No
lot of
one
things
will
in
want an
technology.
internet in their pocket. Technology is the biggest area that things
Yeah,
come. I'm thinking about a VCR. I think your parents
yeah,
have a VCR, right?
yeah.
You probably still have one.
We
Yeah,
have a
we still have one
VCR.
in place. So if you have some old home videos, you probably still have a VCR. But it really did become obsolete for most people
It's a
over
novelty
time.
now.
It
Yeah,
is. The record players making a comeback, right?
yeah,
But for some time it was replaced by, now you can have millions of songs just with a click of a button, right? Even have access. And so maybe you are providing that kind of product or service where you met a need, uh, but you no longer meet that need, or there are other ways that people are meeting that need, or it's just not a need anymore. So it's definitely time, if you see that sales or sayings or have plateaued, or heaven forbid have started to drop off, it is a great opportunity to look at, okay, do my services and my products still serve my customer base? And if not, what do I need to do to change to either meet the new needs, or to continue to move with the times? And so markets evolve. Sometimes your offer needs a refresh or clearer articulation of its unique value. Isn't that something, Kevin? I know we've had lots of conversations about in this new adventure that we're on, is how to really serve what are the needs of business owners, and how can we meet their needs? And we know times change and the markets change. And so how can we best serve our ideal clients? And so maybe we could do better of saying what it is that we do, what services we provide, and how we serve our customers. And so maybe it just needs to be a new marketing situation, or maybe it is your product or service that need to change. Are you truly connecting with the people who need what you offer most? That's tip number one, to reevaluate your offer and your ideal client. Make sure that there's still a match there. And if not, which side needs to change? So tip number two is optimize your sales funnel and lead flow. So there's a lot about leads when it comes to marketing. Is lead generation, lead. Help me here, Kevin.
Lead
you're
nurture,
the lead genius.
lead conversion,
Yes.
all those words. It doesn't really matter. They get the point. I mean, yeah.
So then the question is, if are you generating leads? Are you reaching people? Do they see you? Do they know what product or service you offer? And are they following through to a sale? At what point are they dropping off? Is your marketing generating the right kind of leads? Is your sales process clear, simple, and effective? Those are the keys. Even small improvements in your conversion rates at each stage can have a huge impact on your bottom line. And so there are so many tools out there, a customer relationship management program. You can have something official like that, or just there are metrics if you're using a Shopify or Etsy or YouTube or Facebook Live. Then there are options for how to measure the matrix and see where do the people leave you and not follow through with a sale. So that's tip number two. Optimize your sales funnel and lead flow. Look at the areas where you can improve the number of leads, people who have eyes on you and your sales, your service or product, and follow them through to a sale. So that's tip number two. Tip number three: tap into your existing customers first. This is one that's very easily overlooked by many of us. We're so busy trying to get in front of new eyes that we forget that we have loyal customers who have enjoyed our products and services in the past, and we may be able to meet other needs for them. If you have something, a product that is more of a consumable, it's something that they use up and they need to purchase the same product again, or are there additional products and services that you can or that you can sell to those existing customers? Think about things that those customers are saying. Well, I love this that you offer. This has been great. I've enjoyed this. I really wish that you also did this, or that you also sold this, or do you know anybody who also sells this? Be listening for those sort of comments, and use that as an opportunity to see if you can expand your offerings, Or if you can also turn those existing customers into referrals. I know a lot of people they offer discounts to employees or prizes if you refer new customers. And so are you actively upselling, cross-selling, or encouraging those referrals? Happy customers are your most powerful growth engine. So you can leverage that trust that they've placed in you by purchasing your products and your services in order to turn that into more sales, either from them or from their friends and families as they're raving about your products and services. So those are our 3 tips for you today. If you feel like your sales, your revenue has plateaued or maybe even has started to fall off, maybe your expenses are also rising, then check out that video that we dropped on Friday evening about how you can optimize your costs and look for ways to reduce your expenses. And then here's another area where bottom line profit is affected by not only increasing revenue or decreasing expenses and increasing revenue. So both of those things go hand in hand and can really help your bottom line in order to see a greater profit. So those are our 3 tips for today. Kevin, would you like to add anything before we jump into any questions?
Well, no, let's jump into the questions.
Okay, let's take a look here and see about our comments. I see some family here. We matched. Kevin, did you realize that we matched today? We did not plan that.
No.
Thank you for noticing. It's interesting when you live with somebody, like sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
I went one time, this is not at all related, but I was picking up Vera from her grandparents' house one time. And she has this white and brown and green dress that she happens to be wearing. I didn't know she had it. It's one that her grandmother had for her. And so I happened to go pick her up wearing an almost identical shirt. And it was like we got the same memo and didn't even realize it. So it's interesting when you live together, you kind of find that you have similar personalities or similar tastes in clothing. It is weird. So thank you for noticing, Edward. That's great. All right.
Yeah, and it was bugging me but you were right. You were right
about IBM.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
All right. I remember hearing that
it was the personal computer market.
Okay,
where they fell behind.
that's what it was.
So not that y'all even, but when I'm worried about something, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did. I thought I had heard about them not that long ago that they've been trying to find that next big thing because they missed out so greatly on that movement. They IBM was the go-to for NASA even. All of the when computers were bigger than this room. IBM had all of that business, and then they thought, no way someone would want something like this in their home, and they were very wrong. And so they've been trying to bounce back from that sense.
So, and that's along one of the topics that we do focus on is how you're thinking about things, your mindset. Are you having some foresight in your thinking?
Wow, yes.
Looking into the future where you could potentially innovate, use technology, see markets and needs in other places. It's really just about seeing problems. The more we're finding, and that's why we're doing this. I've said it on the previous videos. We're just trying to find where there's problems that aren't being solved well or at all, or we can, do a better job, provide service that's excellent. And like you said earlier, right, where we can, did you say happy customers or amazed customers or?
Right. What was it?
Anyways.
Yes.
Wow, your customer.
Wow, your customers.
So we want the feedback. We want to know or amazed customers or.
All right. Let's mute that. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
It's like an echo.
So we did find that there is a slight delay. So that was that.
Yes.
But that was an excellent point to repeat. So how about that for timing? If I say so. accidentally. So that is a really great point, Kevin. That in order to inspire your customers to not only continue to purchase from you, but also refer you to their friends, then and their family, then it's definitely a great thing to do to I mean, we all want to come up with the next great thing, the next most amazing thing, but to give your customers, meet them in their need, to serve their need, to give them answers, whatever those answers are, whatever the form of that is. To what is this phrase that you mentioned to me earlier of the transformation? How every product and service that people pay for, it transforms their life in some way, shape, or form. Even if
Yeah.
it's groceries, it
Seeks
does.
to cause change. It sales is the influence of change, is basically what I'm saying. So,
Yes, okay.
even if it's a pair of socks, you're changing from your old sock to wearing your new sock. I mean, that was so silly and basic, but every single thing is in sales is not doing something to someone or even with it's just facilitating the situation where someone can allow a change to occur in their life that they want to happen. So you're just able to put it into words what the need is. Maybe they didn't know they had that need. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't know that you could help with that need. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't know that you wanted to help with that need. Now they do. Whatever, the situation is. It's just a lot of communication. There's three things I was thinking about earlier. If you want to take away technicalities and tactics and strategies and all that kind of stuff that are very important to our business is clarity. Helping business owners, entrepreneurs, small business owners with their clarity, clarity in their numbers, clarity and actually, if you have clarity in your numbers, it helps you make the decisions that you need to make if you have the confidence to make those decisions. And then you have well, your community too, but the communication to relay the information to who it needs to be relayed to. Communication is so much of everything. Us communicating here, we could be sitting here without the camera on talking about the same thing, and you'd have no idea we were even thinking this, and you wouldn't know that we wanted to help, and you see the communication is very important. So yeah, clarity, confidence, and communication. That's just if you want to kind of, and then there's tons of other things, but those are three things that are very important because all the other things kind of fall in and around those, the teamwork, communication, leadership, communication, problem solving and all that, confidence to do these things. So what are we going to do about it? You want to ask some questions or you want us to talk about that?
Let's do that. Let's see let's see. Take a look here about some common questions, Kevin, that you came across related to this topic. What's one of them?
All right. Last video, I was looking off to the side. I'm trying not to look as much, but we got some questions up here on the screen. I feel like I'm doing all the marketing, but my sales are not increasing. What's the biggest mistake I could be making? And Tiffany said that earlier. Oftentimes, it's either not understanding your client and their needs, or how to talk to your client, or express the value in your offer. That means the thing that could help meet their needs. Not knowing their pains. There's some empathy that's required in it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a lot of times it's either the lack of understanding of your client or the ability to communicate to your client that you have a solution or that you want to help. What else did we say here? So this is very important. I'm going to read this. Many businesses talk about their features. Okay. We've got this software and we can do this and that, and we can do this and we can do that, right? It doesn't matter what it is.
We can prepare your financial statements.
Yes, we can. We can do that. We can wash your dishes and we can do everything. We can tie your shoes.
That's what you need.
Here's the thing. Not talking about the transformation is the issue. The fact that you can go from not having clarity, confidence, good communication in your business to having clarity, understanding, the ability to see the numbers that matter in your business day to day, and know how to use them and have the confidence to make the decisions and talk to the right people to affect the change that you need to in your business. See where I'm going with that? The three C's there. Okay. That's the important thing. All right. Meeting them where they're at, being able to reach out and let them know. And the common disconnect is great marketing, but a weak offer or an unclear sales process. Okay. Like I said earlier, talked about sales, just facilitating the change that people usually, I mean, they're going to want, you're not into convincing them. You're not going to convince them to give you something, to give you money or time or energy or attention. You shouldn't really want to convince them. You just want to make a statement, communicate as you see the situation, allow them to interpret and reciprocate. Okay. So it's not a manipulation tactic. Sales has a bad stigma, right?
With, it does.
Oh, yes. I'm not a salesman. Just a salesman, used car salesman, and this and that kind of thing. But really, sales, it shouldn't be slimy. I'm not a salesman, but the more I'm learning about sales, the more I realize the stigma about sales is really not reality of the purest form of sales. I mean, this is how the economy, even if you work for a company, that company would not exist without somebody that sells that service so that you can go and provide the service, whether you're the technician or whether you're in accounting or, management or project controls or, anything along the way. Any part of the business you work in, sales is critically important for that person at some point to have communicated to someone that needs y'all's product or service, whether it's plumbing, electrical work, whatever, piping, scaffolding, it doesn't matter. Coaching, consulting, there had to be communication, and then a sale occurred, for you to have a job. So like it's there. It's sales is in every organization, and that's that the economy functions well that way. Let's go to the next one. So I don't even know if I answered that completely, but whatever. Let's see. Great. Okay. That was a little improv. So my business is growing, but slowly, right? How can I accelerate revenue without a huge new investment? I guess monetary investments they're talking about here. You want to cover this one?
Right. It could be an investment. Probably. I mean, that's probably when we think about investments and we feel like we need to throw money at things. Sometimes, I know lots of businesses are guilty of chasing sales with money, just throw more money at it, try to figure out what's going on. Well, maybe I need to buy more software. Maybe I need to buy that platform or buy advertising on that, through that piece of media or media source and start to throw money at it. But
in one of our previous videos, we talked about, culling, we didn't use the word cull, but culling down some of those expenses that you might not be using. So it's very relevant with your cash flow and the roller coaster and the cost optimizing, eliminating some of that. Yeah, so just throwing money at it without good data or information
absolutely
is going to add fuel to the house fire or whatever.
It's true. Yeah, just spending more is not necessarily going to bring in more revenue, bring in more sales. And so this is where optimization really comes in, Kevin. So focusing on how can I increase my average order size, number one. Can I upsell to a optimum version, a premium version of the products? McDonald's was very famous for the.
You want the biggie fries?
Yes, you want to biggie size it, or is it biggie?
Oh
yes,
man, whatever it was, it was.
Super size. You want to super size that? I mean, there's a whole documentary about it. Yeah, but that was a sales thing where every, and I know there's lots of, especially in the food industry, lots of them where it is a script that the employees are required to learn And after every order, they're supposed to say something like that. Would you like us to supersize it? Would you like us to make it bigger? Just making that one order a little bit bigger every time, you'll definitely start to see that. Can you also cross sell them a complimentary product or service? Yes, you bought this, but oh, Kevin, today when you bought the new brakes, the electric brakes for your trailer, you also have to buy the
Well, you got to
wiring
get the
system.
wiring, of course.
And then you have to get the
Then
wiring
the
system for the
hookups.
Jeep, and then it was like, well, we can do expedited shipping. And you remember you were talking about the different shipping rates,
and there was an extra tariff. There was a tariff on there today. That's something different I had not seen.
So that trailer company was onto something when they say, hey, we can sell you the brakes. We can also sell you the wiring for the brakes.
Absolutely.
And you know what? This other company can sell you the wiring for the Jeep. And so
or on Amazon where they have a frequently bought together.
Yes, exactly. And
so.
when you look at it, it's like, well, if I buy them all together, maybe I'll save some money. No. You're paying the full price for all of those. But you see it and you think, oh yeah, you're right. I do need those other things to go with this. Once you buy the first one. So think about, for your specific industry, for your specific products and services, while you have that customer in front of you, they're making a sale. What else could they use? What other products and services
something
do you
could,
offer?
if you're in some products, is there some kind of is there an arrangement you can make with a supplier, a complimentary product or service, software company, partnership? Yes.
Absolutely.
There's referral programs and stuff like that. The word escapes me. What is it right now?
Affiliate.
Affiliate. Yes.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Affiliate.
So there's opportunities in that. Can you bundle your existing offers and say, maybe you can offer a little discount? I don't think Amazon does. I think they just tell you, hey, if you buy in this, you might as well buy everything.
Or if you're in a service industry and you're already going to be out there providing a service, and you're not going to have to load up the truck to go out to do another call. You could have an upsell of some other. Well, it depends on what you're in. We can also change your faucets while we're here, and for a lot less than if we were to come out and do it later.
Separate costs.
Kind of stuff.
Sure. So it's easier to get more from an existing customer than it is to try to sell that much to different customers.
There's a business acronym. It is acronym, yeah. CAC. If you hear some of these, CAC. If you hear some of these business gurus, CAC, cost of acquiring a customer. Okay.
Which can be very high in certain industries, and the money you spend on advertising, on your time and effort.
Sales,
absolutely.
All kinds of things, technology.
So we want to minimize that, obviously, right?
Where there's a very low, where there's a very low or zero amount of cost in acquiring a new customer?
Where?
When you don't have to acquire a new customer.
Because you have them.
When you have a customer.
Look at that. Yes. So you already have a customer. Can you offer them more different, additional, or premium services? Can you, while you have them, also offer something else that they could use? So the other thing you would want to do is see about boosting your conversion rates. You're getting in front of people already. At what point?
Conversion rate. What is that?
We mentioned lead conversion. So you're getting these sales leads, you're getting interested people, but are they leaving your products in their cart? I'm so guilty of that. I get an email because there's a promotion, there's a coupon. You know me and coupons.
She is. If you wanted to take her, just give her a coupon. Offer a coupon.
It's true.
Come here, little girl. Here's a coupon.
That's too true. Yeah, I went to a chiropractor for the first time because I had a coupon.
It ended up costing her more.
It does.
Probably just in gas.
The coupon was only for the first visit. Honestly, I drove across town.
It's the truth. Many.
Yes, and then they wanted to see me twice a week for the rest of my life, and so.
She's learning. We're learning.
But anyway, so
it helped though. To be quite fair,
it's
they were good.
They did good work. I can't
at marketing and at chiropractic.
Yes, that's the truth. But I'm sure they offer that coupon to a lot of people.
Oh man,
they get in front of a lot of people.
Sure do.
And a lot of people might add the card or schedule it and then cancel at the last minute. So at what point during the sales process Are you not, you got those, you have the leads, you have the people looking at your products and services, you have the people hearing your sales pitch, you have the interest, but are you converting those leads into sales? And so find focus on the higher percentage of lead conversions, the ones that you already have, that you had the best chance. Really analyze that. There's metrics, like I said. If you have a customer relationship management program that you're using, that you can see people as they progress through it and see where they drop off, or you can focus on the products or services that have the highest percentage of conversion, the ones that do buy.
What's the word that they can type in the comments and
you today you can type in the word growth, because we're talking about unlocking growth, where you have stagnant revenue. So based on our discussion after the 3 tips, we did not get there, did we? Today,
no.
You know what? Because the screen went off, and so I got distracted after the 3rd tip.
That's okay.
So the questions today, we want to hear your thoughts on the biggest challenges you face in turning leads into paying customers. So that fits right into the question we were just answering. And so what is the biggest challenge that you face? And so here at Your Consulting, we believe unlocking growth isn't just about external tactics. It's about aligning your strategy with a growth-oriented mindset. So we're developing a mini course about growth catalyst mini course about how to change really,
but we need your input. That's another reason we're doing this.
We need your input, because we want to dive deep into diagnosing revenue blocks and activating proven strategies, and that includes using technology to really dig into your customer base and have some insights into your market opportunities to fuel your expansion. And so we're hoping to do that. We would love your feedback. And so if you're ready to break through your revenue plateau and experience real growth, we have created a free revenue booster checklist. And it's going to have actionable steps that will help you identify immediate growth opportunities. And so you can type into the comments the word growth right now, and we'll send you the link.
And if you want the cash flow resources that we've done in the last couple of videos, we could throw those in there as well too. And we're not charging for any of this. This is we're chalking all this up to getting feedback and helping contributing to as many people as we can, and finding out where the pains are, just like we've been talking about, the needs, where the needs are, where we can provide value. Won't be free forever, but it is for now. And so while we're on that topic, and we're going to go back to a couple more questions, I kind of threw a little list.
No. I'm so glad you did. And actually, we've touched on, I was just kind of browsing through the last couple of questions, and we've touched on, I think, the highlights. So we're about 30 or so minutes in. And so
let me tell them real quick while we're at this.
That'd be great.
We're looking to work with up to 3 small business owners over the next month. And we've pretty much, talked about the things that we want to work with. You're gaining clarity, confidence, and the ability to communicate with with whoever else is involved in your operations, your customers, your potential clients. And in order for us to do that, though, we're going to need to get some people to reach out to us to fill out. Well, we have this. What did we end up? We ended up naming it something that I know the questions. Okay, scorecard is what we decided on, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So a small business owner scorecard. It's just 5 or 6. How many questions?
I think you're right on it. 5 or 6. There's not many.
I could have been more prepared with that, right? But this is kind of last minute.
It's under 10 for sure.
Under 10. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not going to take too much time, but it serves a couple of purposes. This scorecard will. It'll be some questions for you. Sometimes you just need to know what to ask yourself. Sit down and think about to get some clarity. Sometimes it's just stopping, thinking, considering. And we have the questions. We have relevant questions for you to ask yourself. And also, it'll provide information to us so that when we end up working together, or if we end up working together, and we go through here and we provide feedback with with each other
Mhm.
to see where we can, or if or where, how we can help you. So that's called the financial scorecard, or the small business owner scorecard.
That's right.
Okay, so what do you want them to? How do you want them to reach out to
Oh,
get that?
you
Dear?
can comment, call on any of our videos,
Call.
or you can send us a direct message. That's probably the easiest way. Just type the word call, CALL. You can spell today.
CAL.
CALL in the chat on any of our live videos today or in the future. Or go back to our previous ones if you want to rewatch those. They were good for a few laughs at some points. But
we're going to review your answers.
Yes.
And get back to you with some feedback, and allow you to schedule a call with us. And hopefully that will be a good learning experience for y'all and for us as well, to find out where you're struggling, and see what can be done about that. We look forward to connecting with you on that.
Yes, absolutely.
We had a couple more questions, dear.
Well, I think I was going to try to zoom it in here, and we'll just do our closing if I can get it up here so we can be looking.
What was that last question?
Camera.
Did we cover it?
So, well, we did. In the way it was asking about how AI can help me identify any new growth opportunities, and so AI is a really powerful. It can provide powerful insights. Even for small business owners, you think, I have to have a whole lot of data. It's not true. You can take your existing data and use AI in order to get some analysis on your customer data, purchase history, demographics, whether their engagement with your posts, with your ads. You can upload anonymized versions. I know we mentioned that on the previous video. Obviously, you don't want to put a lot of personal information out there. It's not like, China doesn't already have it, but you can use any kind of large language model like ChatGPT. Ask it to identify patterns. Don't want to give away, credit card numbers and things like that if you purchase information.
Right.
But you can say, here's my range of products, and I have sold this many units of each. You can say if it's on a given day, or any kind of sales data that you think is relevant without giving away personal information. It can show you patterns. Do people tend to buy your product mostly on Fridays? Do you get more engagement on certain posts over others? What kind of trends there are
with
there?
any of this stuff that we've talked about? If you're not certain about it, or you're not comfortable with it, just reach out to us. Type growth, type call in the chats or the comments if you watch us in the future, and let's actually talk about this. We can go into deeper. We can sit here and ramble on about it.
Sure.
And
tell you, you can probably do something like this, very generic.
If you're serious about change, if you're serious about innovation and stepping up and unlocking your business potential, just reach out to us, and we would love to communicate and have a chat.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, AI, just as a wrap up for that question, not only can you use it to find trends, it can also be used for market research. I know we've used that. Some for us. You could have, ideas for if you are using social media to advertise your products or services. Maybe AI could give you some ideas on the kind of content that you could produce to reach your ideal clients.
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of ways that it could help as far as to unlock new growth, or to know about new growth opportunities, or ways that you can improve your revenue when
it can be used to
stagnant,
to compress time and maximize, just at a grand scale, the computing power pretty much in any part of your business. Just analyze tons of data in a very short amount of time, help you automate and systemize processes and anything in your business for the most part, in some shape or form, and some better than others. It requires some little bit of little bit of getting used to it and all that too. But like I said, reach out if you're interested.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's about a wrap. You think so, Kevin?
Well, if you want to ask a question,
yeah,
it's getting down to the wire.
Right. Well, we will go ahead and say thank you again so much for joining today's YC Live. We really do appreciate. I mean, I know we say it every single time. We cannot say it enough that
We've said it both times.
All 3 times.
All 3 times. All 3 times.
We do. No, it's true.
We'll keep saying
it's true because yes, that's why, because it's true that we do appreciate all of your support. I was telling Kevin, I was like, man, I just we're taking it 45 minutes of somebody's life, and then he says, well, they don't have to watch. So we know you don't have to watch.
Don't have to watch.
You don't have to, but we're so grateful that you do, even if it's just a little bit. And if you would share it with any of your friends, let them know, hey, this might be something that you might find interesting. If only for the first 5 minutes when we're giving out the tips,
or the
last 5 minutes for us. I
bet they just watched that one spot where I couldn't get my words out.
Oh goodness!
They're like, we're not going to edit.
This is a lot of fun. Well, last week we were talking about our humility, so we'll try to keep it humble. So we do plan to keep this up, if only to continue to practice on our lovely friends and family who have joined us here today, and any potential future friends.
Our beta group,
absolutely. No, we do. We're very, very grateful for y'all just sticking around, for y'all listening to this as you have time. When you're bored or just as background noise. When I first moved to Sulphur, this is also unrelated and just eating up time, but when I first moved to Sulphur,
they don't have to watch, right?
That's true. You could click off right about now. But when I first moved to this area, I noticed it was so quiet to live alone, and that was the weirdest thing. It was so quiet. And so I would always have the TV or radio on.
Because you came from a full background.
House, right? I did. But, and over time you kind of find a balance in it, because some people just thrive in loud spaces, and then some people enjoy the quiet. But I find I need a little bit of a balance to it. And so
you got us now.
Now you got us as background noise, or if you can't get your child to fall asleep. Maybe the sound of our voices. So we do. That just like ukulele them to sleep. So anyway, we plan to continue this for the foreseeable future. So you can follow Your Consulting LLC on Facebook. I think I just noticed myself doing the ukulele, and to Facebook, LinkedIn, Your Consulting LLC. Follow us for updates or announcements. You can also reach out to Kevin or me with any questions or ideas for future video topics. So like Kevin said, if you're a small business owner and you want more clarity and confidence, and want to be able to run your business with less stress and worry, then you can type the word call in the chat to schedule a discovery call with us and have the opportunity to work with us at no cost to you, and that's just for a limited time. You can also at any time send a message to Kevin or to me with your ideas, your feedback, or to schedule that call. So until next time,
there's no excuse to be unclear about your numbers, to be uncertain, and to be sitting there wondering, guessing on the decisions, and not using the data that's there, maybe hidden. And we can help you find that. Throwing that out there. Get it while it's hot. We love y'all.
Yeah, we love y'all. We appreciate you, and we're rooting for you. See you next time.
Stay bold. Stay resolved. Have a good evening. We still alive?
I think now hit okay. We are still live.
Oh, y'all have a great night.
Oh no, look, it stopped.